What's up, Blue Jay Gang? It's Coach Reva, your mental fitness expert and physical fitness coach, coming to you with another message of the day. Today, I want to talk about your personality, the identity you hold, and how it could be blocking you from reaching sustainable change in your transformation. A lot of the ego that I see with moms, entrepreneurs, is what I call the Jekyll and Hyde personality. Now, if you have this personality, you have a strong need for control. And you may think that this is just showing up in your life in many ways, such as you handling your business, of being a parent and being on top of things, but it can also be a block or hinder you when you are doing a transformation journey. Now, I have found out that throughout my coaching experience that the women that I serve, they had needs that were triggered by a need for control that was triggered by uncertainty and security. Understand that this could be a deep childhood wound, or it can be a trauma that has not healed or that you have not resolved yet. So, I encourage you along your journey not to just heal, but heal well. I want you to think about a broken leg. If you have ever had this happen to you, you know that if you have a broken bone, such as your leg, that you would have to get a cast put on that leg so that that leg can heal properly. But sometimes we see people who may have a broken bone who do not go to the doctor, who do not get a cast on that leg. And when it heals, right, it heals crooked or it's misaligned and it causes a limp, right? So, yes, it has healed, but the functionality, right, of the walk is off, right? It may come with a limp, right? I want you to consider that while you are on your healing journey, because we don't want to just heal. We want to heal well, because some of these same triggers that cause us to have this high need for control, that could be the cause of some uncertainty, right? Some unsafety that we may have felt, endured, experienced at sometimes in our life. And it doesn't even have to be childhood, right? It just has to be a traumatic experience. That is the same personality that I call the Jekyll and Hyde that is showing up, especially for my entrepreneurs, right? Because they are seeking some certainty, right, in their journey, in their income. And so they have this high need for control. But the problem gets to be bigger when this need, right, the control that they have that's serving them in one aspect of their life is actually hindering them in another aspect. And when I talk about this personality and that need for control, what this can look like, if this is you, right? This is the first step of the Blue Jay framework, which is for you to develop an awareness about your ego, right? Your personality, the part of you, the behaviors, right, that make up who you are. So, if you have this ego, it usually looks like you trying to go on a diet. And I just want to show you what this looks like when we talk about doing a transformation or having a physical transformation. This may look like you going on a diet. And usually when people, the Jekyll and Hyde personality, when they go on a diet, they do extremely well, right, with a meal plan, with instructions, with personal guidance, with follow along step by step type of regimens. and they see a lot of progress. And usually, for the time being, right, they think that this works well for them. And they think it works well because they actually can see progress in the scale moving, in their clothes fitting looser, or whatever form of measurement. Remember that Jekyll and Hyde has to have a form of measurement, right, to validate the things that they are doing. So usually I would say in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks at the most, right, we start to see that Jekyll and Hyde character showing its face, which means that it's just a face, a turn of the face. So when we get to that 3 week stage, we will see a complete out of control like nature, right? So in this out of control nature, I can see binges. Next thing you know, you're going on a chocolate spree. You're eating up everything, right? You don't understand why you are just out of control, but you have been on such a disciplined type of regimen for 2 to 3 straight weeks, right? And this part of you does not want to be in a box, right? Think about you becoming an entrepreneur. You becoming an entrepreneur means that you are a person that cannot be held inside of a box. So this is what a diet will do to you, right? It will put you inside of a box, tell you what you can and cannot eat, what you can and cannot do, right? And you are basically feeling like you are out of control, right? Because you have went against everything that you have set out to do. And, sometimes I call this the double-edged sword, but this is what this personality actually looks like. So when you go on a body transformation journey, right, and you seek out your coach, because a Jekyll and Hyde personality is going to want something to control, you understand, their behavior, or to get them under control, right? They want the coach who is going to have the whip, right? And just talk to them directly, matter of fact. Even if it hurts their feelings, they want them to tell it like it is, because they want that form of control, to feel in control, right? So with these diets, programs, nutritionists, dietitians, what all these service providers, right, and resources and tools do is it gives them a sense of false security, and it allows you to feel safe, just in that moment and in that time. But then the real you, the Hyde, the other side, it wants to come out. It needs to play, right? So when it does, it feels uncontrollable. And a lot of people in this state, they start to question themselves. And this is the part where, we go into that negative emotion and feeling, and we get a little bit more lax in our habits, right, that we are creating or trying to form. And eventually we fall off, right, and go back into that older version of ourselves, right, until we get fed up again, and then we kick up the new nutritionist, right? We hire the new person, and we want them to control us and just whip us back into shape and just get us to be more disciplined. And what I'm telling you is that this is out of alignment. I want you to think about that. If you have had this type of experience happen to you, you might be what I call at Blue Jays, the Jekyll and Hyde. Now understand, when you are fully, let's say, in control. And what I mean is you are stepping on the scale, you are completing your diet regimen, you are feeling really, really good about what you're doing because you find that you are disciplined and you feel like this is really who you are. You are a disciplined person. So you feel comfortable seeing yourself in this light. Understand when the tables turn and you flip, right? That this is who you are, right? This is the high. This is your diet personality, right? And you need to begin to understand it. It's extremely important that you are aware of if this is you. Extremely important because there is a certain way that you want to go about your transformation. And then there are certain things that you need to expect because of who you are along the transformation. And one of the biggest things that I see that triggers the Jekyll and Hyde is that when they go on a journey and a transformation, that chart or the scale, which depicts the weight or the progress they've made, because we do keep track, right? It doesn't look like a consistent linear weight loss, right? It's not going in a line, which means that you're not consistently going down because you're the Jekyll and Hyde. Your weight, it is fluctuating, and it's fluctuating where it leaves you feeling like you are not in control. And what it looks like is it's going down 2-3 weeks. Ooh, 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 oh gosh, I'm out of control. Oh, let me hire that person. 2-3 weeks. Oh, I'm out of control again. Let me start the meal plan. 3 weeks. Ooh, 3.5, 4. So it looks like, and I'm exaggerating, guys, but I just want you to get an idea what your journey for weight loss may look like with that type of personality. And that's extremely important to know because as I'm going down and up, understand that this could be your feelings. This could be your emotions about your journey and what you're doing, right? Your mood is it's excited, it's happy, the scale is moving. Then you're frustrated, you're angry, you need to get in control of yourself, right? And then once you do, you feel a sense of satisfaction and awe again. So what I would like for you to do is find a way to release control of what you think this journey is supposed to look like. Because I know when we turn on our social media platforms and we see these advertisements to get us to buy certain programs, right? We see the before and afters of the women who have joined these programs, and we think to ourselves, this can be us, right? But we never consider our ego and who we are along the journey and how it affects our behaviors, how it affects the way that our journey looks opposed to another face of food, right? And I call it faces of food. And there's 4, right? So this one that I'm going over with you right now is the most prominent, which lets you know, right, that a lot of busy moms and entrepreneurs have a significant need for control. And I want to give you an example because I was working with a millionaire coach, right? He was coaching me, and at the time that he was coaching me, he was also on his weight loss journey. He was doing very well, by the way. I identified him, not trying to assess him, but you have to understand this is what I do. So my mind by default just sometimes like puts me in coach mode, right? When he was just sincerely my business coach. What he was doing while we were on that call, he had his assistant, right, track his weight. So, as a part of his need for control, right, that was showing up like a red flag, but of course I couldn't say anything because the guy had not hired me. But somewhere in the back of my mind, I wish he would, because I surely could have helped him figure this out about himself. Anywho, he had his assistant track his weight and chart his weight on a daily basis, from what I gathered. So when he is checking in for the day and getting his stats about work, he is also getting his weight stats. That's what I mean for that significant need for control, right? Also, I watched his Instagram and he hired this coach and paying the coach $5,000 upward per month, right? To, do the meal plans, do the training. And I saw one update that said he fell a little bit off track. I want you to just think and guess what he did based on the information that I've given you about my Jekyll and Hyde. He went and hired this coach back, right? And put this coach back in his life because he needed to do what? Get back on track, get back more disciplined, get back into shape, right? And I know that this is how the industry presents itself for you to be successful, right? But you need to understand how your ego, your identity plays a part in your journey. Because if he had this self-awareness, right, this enlightenment about himself, he would have known, right, how to prepare for that 2.5, 3 week dip that comes up, right? And to be honest with you, I'm not saying don't have the dip, right? What I'm saying is mentally prepare for it. Understand your Jekyll and Hyde pattern, right? You may be a little bit more disciplined where you're going 3 weeks, right? 3.5 weeks with being consistent. And when you have that moment, right, after doing the experimentation and the journaling with me, you'll be more aware of when this is the time when I have the cake, right? This is the time that I have the cake without the guilt of feeling like I'm not disciplined enough or I'm inconsistent, and the scale is going to trigger you into some negative emotion, right? Because you've had cake, you had pasta the next day, right? You going out with friends and drinking, and you did all of this in a weekend. And the scale is saying something that is going to put you into a negative state of emotion, and you are going to backtrack. And believe it or not, some of us are so accustomed to this failure cycle that we quit. Yes, we quit because we have been on that same cycle of failure over and over and over again. But the next time we're going to try the diet that my cousin tried, or we're going to go with Ozempic this time. This time we're going to do some yoga, Pilates. This time we're going to strength train. This time I'm going to do boxing. This time I'm going to count macros, right? And then we get into a cycle where we've done this over and over and over again. Now when the new ad comes on, now when a coach like me presents you something totally new to the marketplace, right? You sit there and look and say, I've done this so many times. Is this you subconsciously don't have that belief in yourself? So if you find this to be you in any way, you think that you may resonate with a Jekyll and Hyde, let's hop on a brief call, right? And let's do a consultation. And let me identify based on my checklist if you fall into this category. Because if you do, you're going to have to wrap your mind around what the journey might look like for you. And I have seen this personality type many of times because I specifically work with busy moms and entrepreneurs. So this is my specialty, face of food, because I've dealt with it so much. And honestly, if you don't get a handle on that self-awareness and revealing those patterns within that ego, then I hate to say it, you're going to be subject to the tactics of the industry, right? So understand that the industry knows that the detoxes and the cleanses are only short-term gains. And in order to make a long lifestyle transformation, you have to understand that identity is the missing link from you doing a short term goal and repeating and recycling that, and you being able to keep up with your transformation sustainably, because you will be in alignment with who you are. And if you feel that, gosh, I don't want to be that Jekyll and Hyde, right? You will be on your way to transformation. If you feel that, this Jekyll and Hyde identity that I've been carrying is stemming from some insecurity that I have had in life, right? Somewhere along the lines, I didn't feel safe, right? And my need for control went on 10 because I know if I wasn't in control, right, I might slip back into that older version of me. So what I truly want to do is heal and heal well, right? Let's go back to that broken leg again, right? We don't want to just heal that bone, right? We want to heal well, because if you heal well, you just might realize in this program that the identity that you have been carrying is one of the old version of you. And in order for you to keep this transformation for decades to come, you have to reveal these patterns. Now, I want you guys to stick with me as I get deeper and deeper on these topics, and even give you more faces of food to help you identify yourself. But if you feel like you have been on a fitness and health journey, I would love for you to come closer into my energy, comment, and let's connect. I'm not just here to grow my channel. I'm here in purpose, and I'm here to help you become the absolute best version of you that you can be proud and confident in when you walk on different platforms, on stages, and really shine, right? So I want you to understand that I am a healing Black woman, right, that has used this framework not only to help my clients, but to build a different version of myself. And maybe in between, maybe on my next live, I'll just get into a little bit about my background and my history so that you can know just how far I have come along in my journey and the women that I've helped. Once again, I'm here for you. I love you, and I care about your well-being. I will see you later. Bye for now.